Dave with Quad City Safety. Here to kind of work through nitrile gloves. So as we know with the COVID pandemic, we're hearing a lot about those. So we just wanted to quickly work through what that means, in that, nitrile gloves generically means that it is a glove made out of nitrile. So one of the first things that we need to start talking about is basically the mil. So you can have stuff that's 2.5 mil up to 4. You're kind of like, well, what does that really mean? Well, a lot of it comes to the tensile strength. So nitrile naturally expands, but eventually will pop and rip. And as you can see, I kind of tore the cuff right off of that. So again, this is kind of right in the 4 mil range. Well, you can go to a higher mil, or one that has more of a capability. And as you can see, this one kind of is pretty tough, and I finally ripped it. So again, we're going from a 4 mil to, I think this guy, I don't remember exactly what the mil rating on it was, but it's a higher level. I want to say probably like a 13 mil. So about 3 times the mil rating. So as you can see, that was harder to rip. So as we're in and around stuff, and nitrile naturally is a little bit of abrasion resistance, but keep in mind we're talking about something that's very thin. So then we can work into, when we're talking, most of them that we're talking about are disposable. So the next thing that comes in to play is the grip patterns. So as you can see on this palm, we kind of have a grip pattern, and we'll shoot some close-ups to where you can see it. So you can have a diamond cut. There can be ones that'll just have kind of a sandy finish, to ones that are just slick. So there's actually, there's no pattern, kind of cooked into that. Sometimes the argument comes in that when we're working with our hands, we're always worried about placement. So where are we putting our hands? And so, a lot of times having something that's more visual gives us a better idea, so that maybe we're not into, typically we're trying to keep contusions or, hitting our hands with something or putting our hands in harm's way. So other things to keep in mind is all these guys kind of come size. So it's really not always a one size fits all, because again, as you remember, we're trying to keep that against our hand, pretty tight and snug. So usually sizing's anywhere from a 7 to an 11 or 12, and it depends on which manufacturer that you get. And if you need help trying to figure out what that fitting is, we can kind of talk you through how you measure a hand to make sure that you're getting your folks into the right size gloves. Again, 7 is going to be the smallest to a 10 or 11, extra large, double extra large. Another thing to think about is the area that we're trying to cover. As you can see, the cuff on this one extends farther than that one. So again, if we are submerging our hands into things like we talked about, this one was a thicker mil, that may be something where we have less of an exposure if we're kind of dipping or dunking our hands in and around other chemicals. So, as we kind of work through that, each recipe is going to be a little different. So you got to think about, how aggressive is the work? Is there chemicals that are involved where you really need to, maybe it sounds good at first, but no, I'm going to actually immerse my hands and I might need to go to something thicker. Maybe it's grip, maybe it's hand placement. So there are some things that, even though it's a very generic topic that we need to think about, it's one that we're working through. And, another thing that kind of comes out of, this product here is this specific product by Best is biodegradable. So where a lot of these will sit in our landfill, these are formulated with a specific compound to where they're going to break down quite, substantially faster and not just sit, in the landfill. Because if you think about it, it's okay if you throw one pair in there, but if we're kind of tossing those away, there might be some other environmental concerns. So again, while it's a very easy topic, it may be something that you need to work through, and that's where we're here to help you. Don't hesitate to reach out to us at quadcitysafety.com.